to the new shop where we've had the oak stickered for quite a while, and 2 projects I wanted to start from out of that oak. It's been sitting for 10 months or so. Moisture content's down pretty low, around 12%. One of them is for our neighbor Dylan and Abbie, who own the really large oak tree, and they had expressed some interest in a dining room table, then decided they've got one. What they want is sort of a sideboard table like the one I made my wife. So we shared some pictures. We're going to do live edge, one of these 2 edges. I'm thinking we'll put maybe walnut face drawers underneath it. And out of these 2 pieces, should be able to get legs for this guy. I also picked out the boards for a dining room table for my daughter and son-in-law who live next door to us at the new place. And we did some rough cuts and stored their wood down in their basement to get it to dry a little bit more. Start on the legs out of these 2 pieces as well for their table. They want more traditional, fairly substantial turned legs, so I'm going to have to get some pieces and double glue up and to make the blanks for those legs. We'll get started on that. I took a circ saw run. It's a little bit too wobbly to start with the table saw. See if I can't straighten it up with the joiner and then decide what this is going to be part of. Blanks for the side table and double blanks for the turned legs for the dining room table. And to glue these up, I got slightly narrower bits, slightly wider bits. I'm going to pair those up. Would you like to see? We glue them up. Even up one side, already did, and the table saw, do the other. See where that leaves us for a width. Looks like it'll be about 3 1/8. Then decide how to bring this down close to 3 1/8. Run them all back through the planer to get a perfect square. All right, so what we got is we're at around 3 1/8 that way, and just over 3 1/8 that way, with one of the 2 sides slightly larger. So rather than going back through that another 1/16 or less on the table saw, I think I'll just start working back through the planer to bring them all down. Resuming here after getting Dr. Fauci's special lab invention, COVID. Fortunately, just the Omicron variety. All right, so they are the same in all dimensions. The thing I'm going to do is then cleanly chop the ends off, draw up our pattern, and get to the lathe. It's Easter. We had our Easter egg hunt. Right? How many eggs did you get, Eldon? How many eggs did you get, Ada?
I got 6.
And we're going to take a look at these table legs. Just stick one on the lathe. So that's 29 inches. I'm saying 6 inches is where the squared off bit ends.
Yeah.
Rails, I think, are going to be around 4 inches. So.
Is that, did you adjust this because of what I said?
Yeah, I mean,
I think that's a good
you can draw anything. What might be the best next step is for me to put one of these things on the lathe, take it down to the largest diameter in a column, and that's going to give you yet another parameter. Like if you want a ball, it ain't going to be any bigger than that max column diameter.
Like
Well, he's saying
I want
take
to
that
look at my
actually,
picture.
you're saying right now, just throw it in the way?
Could,
Oh,
yeah.
that'd be fun. These are going to look really nice.
Pretty great.
Is there a way to make this a little bit more of a...
You can
Oh,
take
Around
the
that?
eraser and start sketching on there.
Okay. Here, hold that picture up, because I like the round.
Well, baby's gonna be very frustrated. No question about it.
Like baby.
No question
He's mad
about
at Hudson. This is kind of challenging. Now I've gone and erased your...
Well, there's nothing super valuable.
What about this, Dad?
Sure. You want to see how this works, Johnny? This is the 6 inches at the top that's square.
Yep.
And I'll take it down, the transition to round, and then just try to get max cylinder.
So how do you get it though so that you, like I understand marking it a little, but how do you actually have to just keep eyeing the other ones to see how
Well,
close you
once
can
we're going to do it a little bit backwards. Once we've got the cylinder, we're going to try to draw the lengthwise of these key points and the depth. Okay. So we've got a ways to go before it's... I'll use this guy then to... So it's pretty close. And once that's done, the paper pattern is locked in, and the next one, you actually draw lines on, you make reference depth cuts that you work to.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
But this one is kind of letting you guys design as we go. Max out like there, maybe? Something like that.
Yeah, I think it should come out more abruptly.
That's 1.5 right there. That
Seems
look like a
good.
good,
Yeah.
let's be something like that, and then this.
I feel like that might be a little high for this first one. I feel like it would flare. Well, maybe not.
Oh,
Especially if we're gonna cut some off to get back to 29.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. That seems. You're a bad baby sometimes. Yes, you are. Oh, there it goes. What's it doing?
What was that?
Oh, it's okay.
Is it noisy?
He just put his.
How we doing in here?
Might be closing in on it. 2 3/4, and then this guy's 2 7/8. So I think that's good. Slightly smaller.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
And this guy's slightly smaller again. I think that's pretty close.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good. I can turn that into a pattern, clean it up, transfer all these measurements there, and then try to replicate it for the other legs.
Looks like a lot of sawdust to go into the compost pile out at Fancher.
Yeah.
Here, we actually take it up. See it perfectly.
I like it.
Yeah,
for sure.
that's
It's gonna
nice.
be really nice.
You can figure out what you want.
It's awesome.
One down.
It's awesome.
Okay, we got our pattern. Let's record the actual measurements. Got the depth cuts here, and then this lobe maxes out at this height. Two down, 2 to go. I think we're still in the good enough zone.
All
Greek to me.
Okay.
I haven't really gotten involved
Well,
with
that's the
any
fun.
woodworking since probably like middle school shop class. But
Okay. But I'm thinking there's a few steps today, like, and you told me you kind of liked the side table that I made for Deb, right? So I found the plans for that and kind of made what I hope will be the leg blanks, so we can clean these up on the planer today. That'd be something you can help with. And then this is the main piece here. So we can decide which edge you want to keep for the live edge, right? And then we can cut the other edge off. This is a little more, rotted. So if we cut that one off and use this as the one we keep, that would probably clean up a little bit better.
okay.
Use chalk line.
Are you making use of any of the wood for projects for you guys?
Not yet, but I'm working on a table for Beth and Johnny.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
At the same time as this kind of got going.
I just thought it would be pretty neat to go ahead and make use of a tree from our first house.
Yeah,
and
I mean that's
hang on to
really
a piece
fun.
of furniture.
And let it go. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, you were into some of the fun log rolling. And try to keep it, moving smoothly as best we can up against that fence. Good. Let's see what that looks like now. Yeah, that's probably in a good enough zone because this is going to be against the wall anyway. Pretty good.
Yeah.
I think that did it.
I'm already having way more fun than walking into some store trying to pick out the right one.
In case you make it how you want. I just get an endless kick out of taking something from a raw, rough piece of or tree, right? Like you're actually starting from a tree in your yard and getting to something that
I like regardless if we can make some lemonade out of
I
the
know.
trees.
Yeah, I'm so happy it doesn't just become firewood,
Yeah.
especially your big tree. We could start the process of leveling this off. I can let you do a little bit of that. We can run these legs through the planer. Maybe we should do that next. This is the pattern for Deb's table's legs. And I stole this from this Amish table that we have. If you look at it, it looks like there's curve. It's actually a series of very shallow flat planes. Where does this go? We've got one long straight angle on one side. That's like the interior. And then a two that comes in and back out on the outside of it, and it ends up looking like you got a bit of a curve. So it's a lot easier than actually having a curve. You can just cut some straight lines and clean them up. But these guys are rough, and one of them at least has, you can see down that guy's pretty crooked.
Yeah.
And so what I'd hope to get them to is a common square dimension, that they're all the same, and then we can work from there. You don't want to clean it up too much, but so it doesn't look crappy like it does now.